Good morning. Good morning, ma'am. Oh, you're not hurting nothing.
You was?
You wasn't hurting anything.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to start out with announcements. I know you saw the papers on it, but there won't be a bicycle race this year, so we won't have to restrict our parking out front or move our calendar. Any other announcements?
Our meal task committee is meeting tomorrow here at church at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock tomorrow, we'll go cast. Yes.
Today at 1:30.
1:30, 3:30. Anybody have any concern? Dawn?
I had asked for prayer for Lily Lindsay about a month ago, and I had to go to my daughter yesterday. She was, I don't think getting along well, and I let her go home, and she had her stroke, and she was supposed to go back in the hospital tomorrow for cancer.
Continue prayers for Lily Dennison.
Rhonda Kiesler let me know this morning she was in the ER with her dad and possible for prayer. Also, a college friend of mine just had 3/4 of their lung removed and then had MRI and found out that there's some spots on her brain, so she's asking for prayers as well. And our coordinating team, Presbyterian coordinating team, Carol Jones, is supposed to have knee surgery, but they did find something in an x-ray, and so she could use our prayers as well on her lung as well.
That's fine.
Prayer for Mary Jean Howard.
Anyone else? Joel?
Yeah, I have my uncle on the prayer list in Blaisbrook, and he passed away a couple weeks ago.
Are there any joys this morning? I'm sorry, Dan, did you have a concern?
Yeah, my brother needs surgery this week on his leg. He was in a bad accident this past year, and hoping everything turns out well for him.
Any joys today? Cindy?
I was going to. Brenna's, one of Brenna's photos was selected to be in a showing in a gallery. That's her first showing so far, so we're very proud of her.
Sandy?
I got all kinds of joys. Selma got her stitches out this week, and she's doing really well. My grandson, swelling it down his arm, got it in the cast. And my granddaughter, that's in 6th grade, placed won at her music competition at Windsor yesterday. So, we're very proud of all three of them.
Nicole?
My sister ran her second half marathon in 2 weeks today, so kind of proud of her.
Sad. Any anniversaries or birthdays? Lorraine?
I don't have a birthday or an anniversary, but we're going to have a spectacular performance here at the church on the 16th of May. and it's the women's birthday offering. And we are going to have an original performance of Meeting of the Minds. And we certainly need some men who like to act, and I know most of you do. And there's some outstanding parts with John Calvin being, that was not fun. John Calvin is the main character, but there's Martin Luther and other luminaries in that. And all you have to do is show up and act and accept all the accolades, and then the women will have some delicious delicacies for you. And the Lord will be pleased. As will John Calvin. 16th of May. Volunteer or don't hang up when you see my name on caller ID. You want to do John Calvin?
Act or act up.
We
Either
had
one.
we had the Presbyterian Women's Gathering yesterday at Third Presbyterian Church in St. Louis, and my opinion, it was very good. Those that didn't attend missed a very good speaker. It was the church-wide moderator of Presbyterian women that came. She had been on a global exchange experience to India, and it was very good. Cedric Portis, the pastor, gave an excellent short meditation yesterday morning. Liz Canova, who's a pastor at Glendale Presbyterian Church, did the communion service. That was good. We installed all the new leaders, which included Cindy, and at one point we took a picture of all of us that have been moderators within the Presbyterian. It was 6, 7, 8 of us, a bunch of us, that we decided, okay, we need to do this for posterity, and since Cindy was newly installed, we got her in there. We got the church-wide moderator and myself and 4 or 5 others. So it was a good day, I felt. I hope Cindy did too.
Lori? Do you have anything to contribute? No? Joanne?
Yeah, also a couple of weeks ago, Jake and Nicole and myself went up to my parents and we helped them celebrate their 65th wedding anniversary. And it was also my mom's 85th birthday. So we had a big gathering, about 175 people showed up for us. It was good.
I'm just saying, happy birthday to Cole's, grandmother and Joy.
Okay.
No other announcements or anniversary? Oh,
Almost forgot. We were just very joyful at work this week that my coworker who ran the Boston Marathon and was just about a mile out during the explosions made it home safely. Her husband was actually at the finish line, but they were all safe. They didn't get to bring their personal belongings home, but we're just glad that they made it home.
with that, let's enjoy the prayer. If you're able, please stand and join me in the call to worship. Salvation belongs to our God, who is seated on the throne, and to the Lamb. The first hymn is number 690, He Leadeth To whom shall we address our confession, O God?
But to you and to the Lamb, to whom salvation belongs. We confess, O God, that our ordeals are many, and often of our own making. We have walked in many valleys, darkened by doubt, cut off from the light of faith. Forgive and restore us, O Lord. Wipe away every tear, and cleanse us in the blood of the Lamb, that our hearts, our words, and our actions may be pure and pleasing to you, our righteous God, our good shepherd.
Be assured, Jesus did come into the world, born to Mary and Joseph.
Jesus came to make possible the forgiveness of our sins.
He will come again, as the Scripture says.
All glory be to God.
Now it's time for passing of the peace.
Peace, brother.
Peace be with you, my friend.
Please join me in a prayer of illumination. Gracious God,
We do not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from your mouth. Make us hungry for this heavenly food, that it may nourish us today in the ways of eternal life. Through Jesus Christ, the bread of heaven. Amen.
our first scripture reading can be found on page 159 of your Pew Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 1 through 6. All the commandment which I command you this day, you shall be careful to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore to give to your fathers. And you shall remember all the way which the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness, that he might humble you, testing you to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. And he humbled you and let you hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but that man lives by everything that proceeds out of the mouth of the Lord. Your clothing did not wear out upon you, and your foot did not swell these 40 years. Know then in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, the Lord your God disciplines you. So you shall keep the commandments of the Lord your God by walking in his ways and by fearing him. Our second reading in the New Testament, John chapter 6, verses 32 through 35, and verses 41 through 51. Jesus said to them, Truly, truly, I say to you, it was not Moses who gave you the bread from heaven. My Father gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is that which comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. They said to him, Lord, give us this bread always. Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall not hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. The Jews then murmured at him, because he said, I am the bread which came down from heaven. They said, "Is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How does he now say, 'I have come down from heaven'?" Jesus answered them, "Do not murmur among yourselves. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I will raise him up at the last day. It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught by God. Everyone who has heard and learned from the Father comes to me. Not that anyone has seen the Father except him who is from God. He has seen the Father. Truly, truly, I say to you, he who believes has eternal life. I am the bread of life. Your fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, and they died. This is the bread which comes down from heaven, that a man may eat it and not die. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he will live forever. And the bread which I shall give for the life of the world is my flesh." This is the word of the Lord. Now let us sing one verse of Jesus' welcome as the children come
Genevieve, do you guys know how to play tug of war? Do you? We're going to draw a line right here. Okay, can you see this line? Yes. Kind of. And Chad, you want to help us here, bud? Because this is the center, okay? And you have to hold it over that line. You might have to stand up. Okay, and on 3, we're going to...
Hey, stop cheating.
Stop cheating.
Go.
I'm not cheating.
There you go.
I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating.
He's cheating.
Okay, wait, are we
She's
ready?
not cheating. You.
Are we ready? You gotta say 1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, go. Go. Are you winning?
Can I help you?
No, you can't help her. What are you talking about? I won. Did I win?
You're stronger. You're stronger.
My turn.
You're stronger. My turn. You're just stronger.
Are you saying?
You're just stronger.
Are you saying that wasn't fair?
It wasn't fair.
That I shouldn't play Kennedy?
Can I go get
Why was that not fair?
Because you're stronger.
I'm stronger?
Can I go get
It really wasn't fair, was it? Was that fair? For me to, no, because I was afraid you guys might beat me. And then my whole thing would be gone. So I beat Kennedy because it was kind of unfair, wasn't it? I bet Kennedy, if she did somebody her size, she'd probably win, because she's pretty strong, aren't you? You know, she's mad at me. But, so you guys, kind of goes with our Bible lesson for today. You know, Jesus, some people asked Jesus one day if he was the Messiah. And Jesus said he grants us eternal life. That because if we believe in him, we live forever. Okay, isn't that amazing? And he also said that no one could snatch us out of the palm of his hand. But if someone could snatch him, well, how do you think someone could snatch us out of his hand? If we don't love him all the time? If we kind of let our guard down? Because there's evil around us, right? And if we let our guard down and that evil takes over, and it kind of pulls on us and pulls on us just like tug of war. And one day when our guard is way down, just like when I pulled Kennedy really hard, it's going to pull us and take us right to the evil. But as long as we keep our heart full of Jesus, we can't, that evil force can't tug us away. Does that make sense? Yeah? Does that make sense? So we have to keep ourselves full of Jesus' love so that our guard is never down and evil can't push us across the line to that side. Okay? I'm almost afraid, Jacob. What? No, we're not going to play tug of war. Okay, we're going to say a prayer.
Yeah, me and Jacob put it
I'll bring a bigger rope sometime outside we can play tug of war.
Okay.
Dear God,
Dear God,
help us keep our hearts full of your love
help us keep our hearts full of your love,
so evil can never pull us away from you.
so evil can never pull us away from you.
In Jesus' name,
In Jesus' name,
amen.
amen.
As you can tell from looking at your bulletins, I am an elder here. And Lorraine and I do fill in from time to time when we do have a gap. When we have a pastor who's on vacation or some kind of leave. And of course, all of you know that Paul Cabo is now in Virginia, so I'd say he's on leave. But we are in the process of trying to work out who his successor is, and I hope that, in the next matter of weeks, short weeks, we can come to a resolution on that. Meantime, you got me today. And it is a beautiful day, and I'm good to see that we got such a good turnout. We certainly have better Presbyterians on this side than we do on this side. You notice little things like that when you get up here. I'm sure the choir gets to see it. But in any case, the message today is the bread of life. And I guess I first kind of thought about this particular topic a couple weeks ago. And we had communion last week, so I thought, this is kind of just driving all this home, next time I get up in front of the church with an opportunity to speak, then that's what I'm going to talk about. So the message today being the bread of life, in the Old Testament was actually, that reading was an excerpt out of a fairly lengthy speech that Paul gave to the Israelites. Not Paul, Moses. Did I say Paul? Yeah, I didn't mean Paul. And I guess before I get into that, a couple history points. Keep in mind that the Israelites were called the Israelites because Jacob, who was the father of the 12 tribes, had his name changed by God before he died to Israel. So we've talked about this before in the kids program and stuff, that oftentimes back then, if you fathered a nation of people, then that nation of people were named after you. So, as an example, Chad was the father of a nation of people. Many times, his nation would be called the Chadites. And little Jacob over here would be the Jacobites. Well, God decided before Jacob died that he was going to change his name to Israel. And so this nation of people is now referred to as the Israelites. Now, there were 70 of them that went down into Egypt. They were there 430 years in captivity. Now, the early years weren't so bad, but it got worse as it went on. When they came out of Egypt, okay, there were 600,000 adult men. 70 goes in, 600,000 adult men come in. So that's not counting the adult women. We can double that number. That's not counting the kids, of which they had many. I mean, we're talking about an assembly of people that's probably comparable to the St. Louis metropolitan area. Just a huge number of people. So 70 goes in, and St. Louis comes up. I mean, kind of put it in that perspective. And so Moses, in this case, he is talking to the people that really is now the second generation of Israelites, because, as many of you recall, they were They were led up to the promised land. They got scared. They didn't want to go in. God got pretty frustrated and angry with them. And he sent them out into the wilderness for 40 years. So anyone who was age 20 or over, which would be all of us in this room, except for this very small number, we got to go out in the wilderness, and that's where we perished. And the younger generation, Chad, Jacob, and Kennedy, and they survived. So Moses thought it was important at this point, I guess, that he remind all these younger people now, that is now the adults, where they've been, how they got here, and what God expected of them in the future. And actually, this message that Moses gives them encompasses much of the book of Deuteronomy. So if we were going to sit down here today, and I was going to go through that entire speech that he gave them, we would probably get out of here about 3 o'clock. I don't know how many of you would be left by 3 o'clock, or how many would be awake by 3 o'clock. That's how long and expansive this speech is. Now, I'm going to hit the high points. The high points are that God, with a mighty hand, inflicted numerous plagues on the Egyptians. He brought the Israelites out as a result of those plagues. He parted the Red Sea, allowed the Israelites to cross, closed the Red Sea in on the Egyptian army. In fact, the Israelites, when they were coming out of the Red Sea, this is interesting. When they were coming out of the Red Sea, I don't know how long this thing is. I was going to look this up on the internet, but I didn't. The waters had already started closing in behind them. And there were remnants of the soldiers' gear that had already washed up on shore as they were going to shore. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Well, that now certainly created some level of security for the Israelites. However, they had a lot of needs. I mean, a group of people that big, they needed water, they needed food, they needed direction. Now, one of the things that God did that was also very significant and prominent for them was that he was always there in some form. For instance, during the day, he led them in this cloud. This cloud was always there. And at night, there would be a fire. So you had the fire by night, you had the cloud during the day. I mean, these people could always see that, yes, this God's out there. And Moses wanted to point out that they were chosen. They were a special people. And even though God had given them the manna, he had caused water to come out of this rock in the desert where there was no water. And he had destroyed the Egyptian army, the Red Sea. He had done all these things for them because they were chosen. But don't get caught up in the materiality of it. It was Moses who first said, man does not live by bread alone. It's interesting because whenever I was a senior in college, and I had not been going to church a whole lot, when I was later years in high school and in college, and then I decided that I need to get back to going to church. I mean, this is really where I felt, peace. This is where I felt strength. And so I wasn't back in Sunday school very long, and Sunday school teacher, he had to take a trip or something. So they looked at me and said, Rick, you want to take a Sunday school class? Well, I really haven't been in Sunday school much in the last 6 years, but sure, I'll do it. As it turns out, it was Deuteronomy. It was the same stuff that I'm kind of sharing with you today, and that is that, what I had convinced the class or explained to them was that just like with the Israelites, if you'll call on God, if you'll keep His commandments, there is blessings and prosperity that's going to be showered on you. They had to keep the commandments. What we did, of course, we still have those 10 commandments and the law of Moses. But we also got this other gift, and that's Jesus. So we don't want to lose focus of that in our lives. And it really came at a kind of a key point in my life. You know, I'm getting ready to leave college, I'm getting ready to go out in the workforce, I'm going to make my way, you know, and all this stuff. And so what I was teaching them was also very important to me. And so I've really tried, I guess, since I left college and fortunately was gainfully employed, not to allow myself to get too distant from God. And it's one thing that I encourage our kids repeatedly in Sunday school. Do not allow yourself to get separated from God. It's a lot harder to get back. I mean, we've all probably been there. You're going to find a million excuses why you can't go to church today. You got this little thing to do. You got that other thing to do. And by the way, you know, so-and-so in there, you know, they're not the, you know, not the kind of people you really want to be around anyway. You're going to get a million excuses. As I reflect back, I guess, on my life and some of the high points, a little over 30 years ago, in this church, you know, I'm standing up front here, and Marcia and her dad, you know, they come around that corner down there, and of course, you know, it's a special day, and, you know, I did real good all the way up until that day. When I got to that day, I was nervous as a kid. I don't know why. I made the preacher nervous, so much so that he mispronounced my name. And so, here she comes around the corner down there with her dad, arm in arm. And I'm looking down there and I'm thinking, man, that's like the prettiest thing I ever saw. Now, keep in mind that she did have that veil on. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. There must be a reason why they put that veil. So, that was a very special day, and one that I still remember. I mean, it'll stay with me forever. Another special day in our lives is when college. You know, we only had one son. And, you know, there were some difficulties there, I guess, in us having children. And so whenever, you know, she found out that she was going to have a child, we were, of course, overjoyed. And, you know, the whole pregnancy term thing went pretty good until we were about 10 weeks out. And we're both having clients together, and she comes in and says, look, I got a problem, need to call the doc. She calls the doc, they say get to the hospital right away. So we're thinking, great. So we do, we go immediately to St. Mary's Hospital, and they do some tests and stuff, and ultrasounds, and they put some kind of a heart monitor on her, which would then also tell her what the kid was doing. And they said, we got to do an emergency C-section right away. All right. So they come in to tell me what's going on. Well, I'm in this room already. I mean, you know, like the typical hospital rooms. And again, it was a Catholic church, so, you know, up there on the wall, they got the, you know, the cross with Jesus hanging on it. And I spent a lot of time from that point on until she got in the room looking at that cross, you know, praying and talking to God. And which we probably all did there at one time or another. And I just had this overwhelming feeling that everything's going to be okay. I mean, you know, it was like God was telling me, he said, you're going to be fine, your son's going to be fine. And so, sure enough, I mean, here comes this nurse in, and she's all bubbly, and, would you like to see your son? She said. And I said, well, sure. So anyway, they take me down there, and there's this kind of long, skinny little kid who laying in the incubator, and 10 weeks premature, so yeah, he was a little stretched out, a little thin. Anyway, I just thought, well, it's like me just slinging a worm, you know. And so we go back to the room. Marcia's in there now. And here comes the doc in, you know. And of course, she's done doctors kind of do, I guess, when they got those kind of issues. He's telling us all the things that can go wrong. And Marcia just breaks down. You know, I mean, understandably, she kind of lost me. I mean, she didn't start yelling and screaming, but I mean, she was emotionally upset. And so after the doc leaves, you know, then I'm looking at her, and we're in the same room, you know, same cross, same Jesus sitting on the wall and stuff. And I'm telling her, hey, I mean, he's going to be fine. We're going to be fine. He's got to tell you all that stuff because there's probably some legal thing over there that he's got to do. I said, Cal's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. And he was. You know, he turned out great. And that was the only one that we had, but, you know, I feel so fortunate, I guess, that we, you know, that we got him. And then we just finished last Monday, 5:30-second taxi. And Marcia's been a part of every one of those, but exception of one. Aren't we separated there that when you went with Shop and you stayed with the rest of it? Yeah, there was 1 year in there that she worked for a different firm than I did. And, you know, it's always, I mean, it really is a marathon. And so you have to pace yourself. And I absolutely hate marathons. You know, when they talk about, you know, people running in the Boston Marathon in New York and all this stuff, and we'll get into the Boston thing a little bit later, but, yeah, I didn't like to run long distance stuff, and so this was really a challenge for me to learn how to run a marathon. And I wasn't physically running it, but I was living it in work from January to April. So I told my staff then after we finished our work, kind of leaning back in our chairs Monday afternoon, you know, I got two gals that work with us, and Ann and Krista, and of course Marcia was there, and I told them, you know, you guys are the best staff that I've ever had. And I really genuinely meant it. I mean, I've had staff going all the way back to St. Louis, and I wouldn't trade those two gals for any of them. And so I guess, you know, when I look back at my life, and I look back at how, you know, God has certainly blessed me and Marcia and I together, you know, I mean, I can be thankful that, but where I've tried, you know, I've tried to call on Jesus, you know, I've tried to partake of that bread that he gives, and certainly I have been hungry. I mean, you know, we've been filled with that, just enormous blessings. The same blessings that Moses told the Israelites they're going to have if they keep God's commandments. And so I think the challenge for us is that we not only live that, but we pass it on. Because, you know, the Kennedy and the Cadens and the Jacobs and the Chads, just like Moses was telling the Israelites, you guys know this stuff now. You need to make sure they know. We've got to make sure that they know. And our kids, and our nieces and nephews. I mean, we got to make sure that we're not the last generation that knew. That we do keep passing it on. And this church has been here for how many years, Bernie? 100 and something? Yeah.
14.
Yeah. We got to make sure, and we will, that this church continues to pass it on. And so the bread of life is right up there. And we just need to remember that as long as we go to that source, our needs are always going to be met. That's, we have a hymn. 107, and Sharon says we're going to sing it through twice. So stand. unison, saying the Lord's Prayer. So let's pray. The Lord of heaven, we thank you again for this most beautiful day. Many folks that have come to join us here this morning. Pray that the message of Jesus and bread of life that he offers as an example for us to fill our hunger for an eternity. This message that we will all take with us today and everything. Now we pray, Lord, for those who are sick. We pray for those who are injured. We pray for those who have lost loved ones. Pray, Lord, that your healing hand and the comfort of thy Spirit will descend upon each of these and will draw them nearer to you. Pray that you would be with our nation, our leaders. Protect us from our enemies. For it's in Jesus' name you taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Our final hymn today is Bless the Church, page 572. Please stand. God, the love of Jesus, and the joy of the Holy Spirit be with each and every one of you